What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today. We're doing a realistic rebuild of the Tennessee Titans. Of course, we just got done doing a Broncos rebuild yesterday, assuming Rodgers would get traded there at some point. Could that still happen? I don't know. But we got one of the two big names off the trade block here, and that's Julio Jones to the Titans. It is a little bit of a boring trade just because it was pretty expected. You know, the trade details weren't super exciting either, but obviously, if you're a Titans fan, you're ecstatic. And I will say, it makes them a very, very high-projected team. I mean, that's just a team that was already, you know, pretty decent. You're thinking, hey, maybe the receiving options, you lose Jonnu, you lose Corey Davis. There's probably someone else they lost and I forgot about. It's not great, right? But they get Julio. That obviously makes them a very good squad now. And their offense should be very, very hard to stop. The thing is, going to a team with Ryan Tannehill that is, you know, a run-first team, Julio Jones isn't really going to be playing, I would say, his traditional, like, he's the focus of the offense role. He's going to be doing a lot more blocking. I will say he's going to be doing a lot more blocking, but with the size of him, the size of A.J. Brown, they're going to be a hard team to stop on the ground. They already were, but they really are now. Obviously, we do have the rookie Radens. I don't know if that's how you say his name or not. I only made him normal because, once again, it was a second-round pick, and, I mean, he didn't really project super well, and more importantly, the Titans really haven't had a great track record with taking tackles in the draft lately, so I'm going to give him normal. And then for the defensive side, Caleb Farley, you could make the argument for superstar. We made him just star here. And then Elijah Molden, who may actually play safety. I just don't like the size for him. We need a number 3 corner. I'm going to put him at corner. Had a father that played a lot of years in the league. I think star is perfectly fine. You may even see that in the real game. And then, of course, another fan favorite kind of player is Monty Rice. Normal development traits. Yeah, that's pretty much it. People ask me what, you know, rosters I use for, what is it called, for these rebuilds. I just use a random one. I can't even remember. This one's been, you know, this is like a month old now. I might actually have to download a new one. I just use a random kind of updated one with some rookies in it from, you know, as many rounds as possible, and then I adjust them myself. So you're going to probably have to do that yourself. I'm going to be honest with you. Or maybe one day I can try to adjust them and then re-upload it, but then it's kind of like stealing. I don't know, dude. It is what it is. Obviously, the very big payment of Mr. Bud Dupree from last season. Obviously, it's ironic that, you know, they go from Clowney to basically almost another Clowney, really. This time, though, they are locked in long-term, a 5-year, $82.5 million deal. The guarantees are, I mean, it's not crazy high, but it's still pretty high for a guy that's kind of like a random breakout player. He's been pretty decent, but kind of a breakout player. But, you know, I mean, it could be like a Zadarius Smith type of deal where, he's good. You feel like he can take that next step. Will he, though? That's the question. And I know I always bring the Packers into conversation. I'm sorry. But as far as what's next, there's really nothing next. It's just we get on with the season. Look at Julio already trying to be a great guy and help players around him. Speaking of being a great guy and helping people around them, maybe think about leaving a like and subscribe. Thank you. Leaving a like and a subscribe. I don't even know what that means, but maybe do those things. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Maybe check out the second channel, Jeromepkr Plays. Maybe should have something up today. I don't know if we will, but probably should. Tomorrow, though, for sure. And twitch.tv/Jeromepkr for a stream tonight. I got to get one. You know, I'm never going to make any promises because I'm just terrible. But this would be the day you'd be like, okay, yeah, he'll do. I mean, you wouldn't believe me, but you know, I'll be live. I mean, if this is what happens in real life, this is a massive win as Bud Dupree is a superstar development trade player. I did not expect that to happen ever, or, you know, at all, really. And that is a massive win. You can tell how big of a win it is by how much emphasis I put on massive. Now, the question is, how much money does this team have? Because obviously, Julio Jones, he's not necessarily a cheap player. Obviously, also probably looking for a re-signing. Or maybe not obviously, but might be looking for a re-signing. But it appears we actually have some money. So, Jayon Brown, one of my favorites, actually, gets re-signed to a 5-year deal. The rest, though, not really asking for much. So, maybe Batson, you know, I like some Batson, but you know, I can't. All right, headed to the playoffs, and as expected, we do not make them. The reason why I say as expected is because the team absolutely sold. I don't see that happening in real life, but apparently that's the case here. Amani Hooker could have been a nice little win for him as well, and it wasn't. Ryan Tannehill, 35 touchdowns, 12. I mean, not bad at all, right? But, not the numbers we're looking for, especially with Henry not really performing well. Julio Jones, though, absolutely massive. Very strange, though, that the tight end number 1, I get that, that's what they would look to do, but I don't know if Ferkser has it in him to put up 101 tackles with 1,100 yards. And even with that season, he's going to be 27. Cool, your star dev going forward. But, do I don't really care. I'm going to be honest. We need someone that could stretch the field. There's just not enough speed. Even Julio Jones at this point, 32, 33, maybe even coming up to 34 here, depending on how close his birthday is real life. They need some speed. We got to go for someone fast in the slot. Be nice to go for someone fast, or at least, a mismatch at tight end. That is probably what can save this team. Tannehill was number 3 on MVP, though, whereas I don't know if the other guys are going to be up there. No, Julio Jones is, so is Henry. O-line, anyone on the list? No. We had some wins. We had some individual wins, surprisingly enough, one of the biggest ones being the quarterback, Tannehill, because when you think about it, if Tannehill could put up an even close to MVP season, the Titans should easily make the playoffs and maybe even be favorites for the Super Bowl, which, speaking of, is the Patriots versus Seahawks rematch, and Seattle gets done in again. Look at the DevUps. Nothing surprises me here as Ferkser does go to star development traits. Still too much money for us, and Tannehill obviously goes to superstar. He's 33 years old. We've done it in the past where we adjust their rating based on how well they play. I think I'm going to make him a 91 overall. Defensively, we already know Bud Dupree was superstar because he earned that throughout the season. And if I'm not mistaken, we didn't get a single dev up elsewhere. All right, so we have about 36 mil to work with. I think the only real player that could be moved right now would be Ben Jones. Yeah, they save about 5 mil, so maybe get a new lineman. Outside of that, I think we do need to save some money because we need to re-sign Rashaan Evans if we want to. And we do need to re-sign... is it who the hell was it? I don't remember, but Harold Landry, I think it is, as far as free agency goes. Anyways, for what we need, not really looking great either, other than if you want a quarterback, which obviously we don't really want one, and I guess not even then, because Dak got the contract in real life, so we wouldn't obviously sign him here anyways. But realistically, I don't see anyone other than, maybe some random backup role player. There's not going to be anyone here that's really going to improve our team too much. I completely forgot we had a top 15 pick. Okay. It may have cost us a little bit, but we trade 13 and 109 this with a third round next year to move up to 8 with the Ravens, where I believe I'll be talking about the man that has been talked about a ton, Mr. Christopher Teague. I was like, well, wait a minute. Hello, where are you? Of course, our next pick not looking so good. May even be a trade down, but the guy we have there looks really good. This linebacker looks really good. We just don't need one, though. Just making sure everything's all set. This guy's okay. This guy's okay, but Teague has to be our choice, right? Yeah, he's our choice. I'm just gonna take him. Okay, that's about it. Christopher Teague, A- pursuit, tackle, and hit power. Decently strong, insanely athletic. Welcome to the team. Hidden development trait, 77 overall, ranked number 1. I can't remember what it was that they actually said about him. I think he was just good. I think that might have been it. Regardless, one of the biggest needs on the team and just too good of a talent to pass up. If we're at 20 or something, obviously I'm not making some crazy blockbuster trade to get up there, but a third and a fourth for what appears to be a can't-miss god automatic starter is an obvious win. And we end up getting a 4th-round pick on top of it, so not a bad trade at all. And now we move down to the Dolphins to get a high 4th-round pick and a 5th-round pick, which, of course, gives us 28 in the 4th as well, which gives us an opportunity to take one of these talented individuals. I'm going to take a look at how important wide receiver is for us. I offered some guys. I don't think we got any. Another big-style wide receiver, maybe even kind of built like Julio Jones here a little bit. Maybe his replacement in the future. Can you really pass up on a guy like that in the 4th round? I don't know if you can, right? We got Josh Reynolds, but, do I even like him? I don't know. I can't pass up on him. Kevin Watkins, our second player of the class. 70 overall normal. 21 years old, obviously very young. Lots of potential. And Like I said about that Julio Jones thing, not too far off, I would say. And, of course, wearing number 11, we'll change that up because in real life, I believe A.J. Brown will end up handing over number 11. I believe he's been trying to work out a way to do it, but it's a little tricky. And now we're down to 2 tight ends. I actually like both of them. I would probably say Mackey is... I don't know if I would say Mackey's better or not. But let's move down until one of them goes. Obviously, one's an early 5th, so you might see him here soon. And then the other one's a late 5th. I just don't know, because I think the game knows about devs. So in theory, the fact that that tight end is still here probably means that he's not hidden. Whereas, I mean, that guy could go right after him if he is. So it's very tough. It's very tough to gauge. But maybe we'll get lucky and both will be there at 28. I doubt it, but you never know. I mean, at this point, I could probably, And like I said, I mean, at this point, we're desperate, so I am actually going to trade up with the Jets. I can't take that risk. I will be giving them a 7th-round pick next year for it. I think that's totally fair. Obviously, they would take that in a heartbeat, right? There's no question about it. But yeah, the other guy went before our guy. Well, I mean, technically, the other guy's who I wanted, but Jeromepkr, the last of the 2. And sadly enough, the tight end position around here gets even worse, technically. More athletic, but not by much. A 5.54 is 86 speed? How can you be a 5.54 runner with 86 speed, 83 excel? That doesn't make any sense. One of the 2 has to be in the 88 if they're not both 85 or so. I don't get it. And it might be a reach, but this guy looks like a pretty talented DT, so we're going to take him. 69 overall, a normal... Not bad for a 5th-round pick, but, nothing special. We're going to turn this into a 4th next year from the Eagles, try to cut into some of our deficits. And, I mean, overall, we maneuvered the draft very well. We just didn't really land super high potential players outside of our one guy. We traded our 2 6th to the Vikings for a 7th this year and a 5th next year, in which I can't really pass up on this fullback. He looks way too good to pass. I'm going to grab him. 71 overall, Nathan Bowie, and not bad. As far as kicker-punter goes, I actually don't know much about the kicker-punter around here. Oh, McCann. So McCann's pretty fine. Brett Kern's aging, but he's not bad. I mean, I think it really comes down to whoever looks the best. But most likely the punter. The punter doesn't have the power, but he has the accuracy. So do we take him? Magana regret this in a moment. 6'7" overall. Wow, what a player. A kick power, but it's 86. Love it. So the only hidden development player of our class will automatically start somewhere. What is that, Dev, though? Are we seeing something special? We are. Superstar development trait. I don't know what position we need the most, so we'll find out. Here's Medlock, one of the guys I was kind of thinking about maybe taking over. Teague. I don't know if this was the other. Yeah, this was the other guy. Not bad, but obviously doesn't even compare to the guy we have. I mean, our guy's in the 300-pound department, but with his speed, he could probably play outside linebacker if we really needed him to, which obviously we don't, so thankfully. But yeah, that pick was a definite win, without a doubt. And I suppose new DT. He does not fit it. Nah, we're going to put him at right end. He just does not fit the nose tackle spot at all. And Autry obviously doesn't. Do we have any other options? I mean, McCain doesn't look too bad for the spot, and he's a pretty large fella. All right, we have re-signings. Rashawn Gary, the 5th-year option was declined in real life, but we're going to give him a 5-year deal here. I think it's perfectly fine. He works out for us. I'll take him. Harold Landry, now, on the other hand, I need to take a look at because, man, in real life, I don't know. In Madden, probably, but it's all about Sim, isn't it? And in Sim, he really has done absolutely nothing. I think we're going to save money, honestly. Harold Landry maybe gets a tag at best. That's about it. All right, head to the playoffs, and this time we lose anyways there, but we still hold on to the division and a playoff spot at 10-6. Pretty confident at 10 wins that we were going to win, 10 plus that we were going to make it to the postseason, and we did. Team schedule, yeah, I mean, a couple of losses here was kind of like win 2, lose 1, something like that. We won, okay? We made the playoffs. That's all that matters. Tannehill, similar to last year, technically better. I can't remember how many picks he had, but not bad. Rushing was better, so, we could add that in. Obviously, passing's better as well. As far as receiving goes, A.J. Brown should be a superstar. Julio Jones, definitely a down year, but still worth every penny. Mackey, this is kind of why I was looking for a new tight end, because really anyone seems to thrive in this role. as just being the too many to cover receiver. Just being there is all that matters when you have this much talent on the team. Defensively, Simmons went off, but no one else did. It's just Landry's not worth the money. He just simply isn't. Bud Dupree somehow got a dev up. I don't know how, but somehow did, and he's done nothing with it. He's absolutely just not good. As far as MVP goes, last year we had number 3, I believe, with Tannehill, and here we're just not even in range, so I guess it was worse than I thought. Really? Number 2 for running back. Jeez, what did Chubb do? How good of a season did that guy have? Oh, my. But hey, even though it's the Browns and we're going to get absolutely, pummeled, at least we made the playoffs. Kind of. We made the playoffs, but it's kind of I guess it's good. Maybe. And it's a nighttime game. You can't really ask for much better than this. If you can beat Cleveland in a playoff game, you really shouldn't have too many worries, honestly. So here we are. Let's see if we have any worries going forward, or if we're even going forward at all. As we do take the 7-0 lead, both teams seem to drive down the field, but choked right when it came down to actually time to score. 10-0, 17-0. Defense is playing really well right now, and realistically, I don't see for there to be a reason that that's the case when statistically we've been pretty bad, actually, and we hold them to 10 points, and that touchdown came right at the final moments of the game, so I don't even know what this was. It's like a weird game manager system, defense just holding down the fort. I don't even know, dude, but we won. I mean, I don't even know how to freaking gauge what just happened. That was one of the strangest games I've ever seen. I know I said that whole thing about, if you beat Cleveland, you have nothing to worry about, but we are going against the Chiefs. And trust me, even if it wasn't the Chiefs, it could have been the Jets, and I would have still worried, let's be honest. But obviously, beating the Browns is a massive win. Win or lose here, I'm pretty happy with how things have gone, at least this season, for the most part. And winner of this game plays the Patriots, which is just not an easy team to beat. So, yeah, this is one of the toughest playoff runs I've seen, ever. So, that's really fun. It's going to be super great. As we had a good start, and that start has kind of diminished here as the Chiefs have put up 21 points in the first half. We get a touchdown to start the second, though. They bounce back with a field goal. We can't drive down and then not score. We simply just can't. The defense is keeping us in it about as much as you can against a Chiefs offense, and the team's choking. Do we just go for a field goal with 8 minutes left, now down 10? All right. I mean, I'm sure that's just great coaching, right? I would fire his ass on the spot. No caparoo. Tannehill plays better, but, I mean, that's still really rough with the completion percentage. It's just he played so bad last week that, anything was pretty much better. As Henry, I mean, he had a worse rushing game than freaking Braxton Berrios. What a disaster receiving. Reynolds was the hero, which is ironic because he's, by far the least, I wouldn't say talented, but the least potential worth talent on the team. I don't even know. The worst playmaker, I guess. I don't even know what I would call him. Oh, they really love Tom Brady. Okay. Seen him a few times now in the intro or the loading screen. Love it. And it's the Chiefs versus the Packers, with the winner of this one being the Green Bay Packers by a very large margin. There's that face that I just do not want to deal with. I just don't even want to talk about it. A.J. Brown is superstar development trait. No dev up for Mackey, which doesn't really surprise me. He wasn't great. He was good. You're definitely happy about it. Jukebox? I don't think that makes a lot of sense. Once again, I don't think it matters either, but Jukebox for a guy that's really not jukey necessarily, right? Defensively, once again, not a single dev up. And like I said, in our postseason matchup where I was talking about defense locking up when they probably shouldn't, it doesn't surprise me. It's not something that I disagree with. I don't feel like, other than maybe Simmons with his 9 sacks, anyone really deserved to go up and dev. Landry's asking for about the same, but if I'm going to give him the contract, I'm going to give him a lot less, but mainly a tag, which is only 15 mil, surprisingly, so obviously he's getting the tag there. I was well prepared to replace him, just like I am with Ben Jones. Not that he's not a great player, it's just, he's a 77 overall, $6.5 million. You can get someone just as good for that exact price, but you could spend a little bit more and maybe grab someone that's, really good. As Jair Alexander, just don't need a corner, thankfully, because it's a tough position to get. Ronnie Harrison, see that name a few times. Not the worst fit either, but we just can't do it. Mike McGlinchey, we'll have to take a look at our whole offensive line position. Jeremiah Owusu, for one, I don't think would be a free agent yet. Not even, I don't think he 100% wouldn't be a free agent yet. And two, I would imagine they would keep him if he was that good. Although, look at the money. Tom Brady's seen that face a few times. Overall, I mean, maybe like a David Njoku or some sort of tight end. Other than that, there's not really, once again, anything here that's going to improve us. Maybe get some, random linemen, maybe even get Jones back for all we know. All right, we got some signings. We got Bilal Nichols to play the DT spot. It was a 3-year, 30-year, 3 mil. Was it a 3-year, 30 mil? Or was it 8 mil per year? I can't remember what it was. McGlinchey, on the other hand, was about 11 mil per year, 4-year deal. And then Jefferson, I've been trying to get him for years now. He keeps getting signed, let go, signed, let go. We got him for a couple of years now. And yeah, realistically, I mean, I offered some other linemen because we do need someone on the interior. Radons is going to be playing left guard for us. We need a new center. Receiver, probably not a big issue, right? We have Watkins to play there. Tight end we'll look at, but obviously not a super easy position to draft. And then defensively, maybe look for someone to replace Landry. And maybe look for another corner, just because Molden probably fits as the number 3 more than he does the number 2. But as of right now, he's the best we got. D-line is finally fixed, though. This is looking like a pretty damn good roster. And, we made a decent run last season, so, getting better. I like it. All right, so here at 25, we have a corner and a tight end, obviously, with tight end being quite a bit bigger of a need. That's the Heisman winner, by the way. 79 overall, the Broncos, which is insane. With the tight end position being the biggest need, I obviously want him more, but you know the drill. We're not going to trade up unless one of them is gone. It's the best way to do things. And there he goes to the Texans, the corner at least. Very high overall. Time to trade to the Bears. We gave up 25, a 4th this, and a 4th next to the Bears for 20, which is pretty fair. I'd say they're losing a little bit more than we are there, but there's still a lot of good talent. Maybe they don't need tight end. I don't know. But our second pick would definitely be Eaton, as he looks pretty decent. But more importantly, they mentioned that he was really solid. He just didn't, perform where they thought he would in the bench press. They actually said he was looking like the best lineman, but the bench press might have dropped him back, they said, which, I mean, I don't really care. It's all about being on the news story for me. Jack Chapman. The height's not really there, but the size is for weight. Late first talent, late first projection, great top skills, fast enough, definitely a solid performer, so we will be taking him, and he's going to be normally, I would say normal, but he's a hidden development player, and right on the nose at 20 is where he goes. I mean, a little bit raw, but fast enough, obviously, solid, definitely, well, I wouldn't say definitely better than the guy we already have at tight end, but he's hidden, and being hidden is not an easy thing to be at a tight end specifically. I have no idea where this guard is going to go. It said late first, so I'm going to go to, right here, I suppose. I probably should have went one pick before then, but the Vikings actually have an okay line, whereas Detroit probably will be looking to replace left guard as their need. We're going to have to make this, I mean, they don't know exactly what we're going to be going for, but make this valuable to them. This appears to be fair, and they do accept it. So we move up 17 spots, but we do have to give them a 3rd next year, which you can see now we are down to just 5th and later round picks. Obviously, there are some other players you got to pay attention to. Could be a good replacement for, if he even is an actual pass rusher. Doesn't really show too much on the skills for Harold Landry if we don't re-sign him. Paul Boatwright, not bad, but he's 23. He's also a slot type, so yeah. This DT looks pretty good, but we do already have our DTs pretty much settled, and I believe we do have another DT later that's like a mid-first or a second-round projection player. This guy looks pretty good too, maybe even better than the guard. However, the guard was the one that they mentioned. Please just don't be normal. Please just don't be normal. And he is hidden. That's a win. An offensive lineman at hidden is a win no matter if it's star, superstar. I mean, hell, even if he's 24 years old at this rate, it's a win. And he's not as good as the guy we had. The guy we wanted was gone, but we're going to take Mr. Collins, the DT, and even though we didn't really need him, I mean, it's not a bad pick, but yeah, we probably didn't need that pick. This pick, though, however, will most likely be a running back, and he's the only one left, Mr. Kevin Tyson, a little lightning to our already existing thunder, and really not going to get that. He is kind of a dual threat style guy. If his injury and toughness, which it is low, I was about to say, if it wasn't, low, you could probably work with him, but for us, he'll never be a starter. He'll just be a backup forever. Wide receiver time, a little bit of speed. Ran a 4.42, but apparently not that fast. A lot of people wearing number 11. Interesting. This is going to be a super light draft class. We only get 5 players. We diversified a bit. We got 4 offensive players, 1 defender. Jack Chapman, the automatic starter no matter what, so I don't feel bad about looking at the dev. Tight end is a superstar development trade player. That's massive. Did he have aggressive catch? Ooh! That's kind of filthy, though. What number? 83? 83 it is? I'm not going to go too much further with it. Automatic starter, Eaton. He might have to play center, though. What's his size, actually? Might as well put him at center already. Size, yeah, kind of big for a center, but still, star development trade, a win for a fact. And I don't know if there was anyone we missed. Oh, yeah, there was this Holloman guy who was the Heisman winner. Not much we could have done anyways, but 5'9", not that athletic. He is 210, though, which is pretty big for a 5'9" corner. And his development trade is superstar. So, a good pick, but yeah, not as great as they toted him out to be. And here's Arsenu, who is really solid looking. Debatably better already, even if he's only star than the other guy, just because he's got the size, he's faster with the excel and agility kind of stuff. And his development is only star, but he's still really solid. Here's the squad for year 3, offensive line. Pretty damn young outside of Taylor Lewan, who's 31, so we could still get another couple of years on him as well. Not that we might even have a choice. He might actually be locked in that long. As far as the rest of the linemen go, obviously Radins is, he's decent. He's young. Eaton, obviously decent and young with good dev. Nate Davis, another decent young player, 25. And then McGlinchey is on a long-term deal, so we're pretty much set there. The new tight end with Superstar should get up to speed pretty quickly, maybe an 80 overall by the end of the season. We don't need to talk about any of the other guys. All the other guys are perfectly fine. Julio's still going strong. Kevin Byard, 91 overall Superstar, brought his name up because his contract time might be coming up soon too. I'm trying to think. I feel like they gave him like a massive deal like maybe a year or two ago in real life. So we're getting close, I feel. As far as DBs, they look exactly the same, but we're just not going to talk about that, all right? I didn't have a quarterback at the time of simming, and I think Ryan Tannehill has his positions mixed up. You don't get kicker XP too much, right? Okay, let's see what... Yeah? Sure, dude. Hopefully Tucker McCann gets those fake field goals down pat with Ryan Tannehill teaching him. I think that kicker guy needs to play a few more downs. Like, well, I guess that implies you want more field goals? Is that what you're trying to say? It's re-sign time, and we actually have some really big names and some really big numbers coming in here. A.J. Brown is obviously the future at the wide receiver position here. Julio Jones, how long does he have? I have no idea. I think a 5-year 95 is what is in the books. Simmons, the money is a little high, I will admit, but he is a very talented player. I think a 3-year deal is fair. 3-year 48. Harold Landry, I can't approve these things, right? Like 2.5 sacks, he had 6 last. I can't do that. Nate Davis, he's gonna give himself a 5-year deal. Did I almost say Nate Robinson? Yes. Is there a reason for that? No. Amani Hooker, many breakout chances. He's all right. I think we can do better, though. I think we can do, I wouldn't say cheaper, but we can definitely do better. And, I'm assuming we're going to let him go. The money is pretty decent, but I think we probably will let him go. All right, if we can beat the Chiefs, we're in the playoffs. Can we do it? We do. Okay, surprisingly enough, and I guess it really doesn't matter because I didn't even think about the division. The division was kind of rough. Thankfully, the division is playing that way because not that we even need it, but it's a lot easier to get into the postseason when you only need 8, at most 9 wins. Tannehill has his best season, should be X Factor, and maybe even MVP. Derrick Henry, lesser season, especially with the yards or the touchdowns, so I guess I can kind of see where Tannehill's season came from. Julio Jones, that's the touchdowns I'm used to seeing, but the yards a little bit on the lower side. A.J. Brown, obviously massive season again, probably will be X Factor. Jack Chapman, 600 yards, but 12 touchdowns, so very strange season, especially considering I didn't change the playbook at all from last season, and yeah, I mean, I guess that's the result. Teague, a really good season. Simmons had a really good year last year. Not so much this time. Bud Dupree, though. It's nice to see someone on the actual edge where the majority of the pressure should be coming from, putting up some numbers. Caleb Farley, not bad. We got some picks for once as well. McCann, not a bad season last year, but this year was rough. And surprisingly, Tannehill's all the way at number 4, which is crazy because all of these players are in the AFC. Look at them. The top 6 are in the AFC. That's insane. Not even going to get best quarterback, will he? Number 4 with that season. Wow, that is actually kind of nuts, but okay, sure, whatever it takes. I mean, it was a really good season anyways, and we do make the postseason. So the Chargers, 90 overall to their 86 overall. Could this already be the year? Probably not. I don't feel like the offense is going to be consistent enough, but definitely on a great path. Back-to-back good season. Justin Herbert, I believe the 10th guy on the MVP list or best quarterback list. One of the two. Going up against the number 4 on the best quarterback list. Oh, watch out. Great award to win. 16-14, 23-14, 29-14. Really good performance here. Can we do it, though? It seems like offense is trying to keep them in it, but not there as they clutch up with a touchdown drive, a long touchdown drive. Defense, really, they were okay, but they really weren't on their A game, but the offense was. Look at the performances between the two. Obviously, Tannehill lacked a little bit in the completion percentage, but touchdowns were better and yards were not. Rushing, obviously, a lot more help for Tannehill with Henry balling out as usual. Receiving, who is that guy? And then Jared Cook always giving help to any team he plays on. A.J. Brown, really good. Julio Jones, kind of meh. Maybe he's reaching the end of the trail here as he's not playing really superb football, right? He's good. He hasn't really played that well. Speaking of, 33 years old with an upgrade point. Let's keep him at physical because that's kind of his style. 94 overall. And he gets in a short route +3. Still really good. I mean, it wasn't the craziest performance I've ever seen. But honestly, looking at the team, maybe it is. I know there's a lot of morale probably boosting the team. And a lot of other teams have morale boost. But maybe this is the year. It very well could be. And it's the snow we've lost. Although, you technically run the ball better in the snow in a way. It's just because you don't throw the... Ah, damn it, now we've lost. I just broke the freaking the mold here. But you just don't throw as well. So, obviously, if you have a good rush attack, you're going to play better, typically. Well, let's see it in Baltimore. Snowy game. Tennessee, not a bad start. Stopped them, got 3 points. Did again, got another 3. But just like that, the touchdown gives them the lead. Field goals with Tucker McCann are leading to a nice little score here, though. 16-7, 24-7, 31-7, and that's all she wrote. It is about to be the championship round, 31-15, and there you go. Baltimore's down. They're down for the count. There you go, Tennessee. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Ryan Tannehill, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. Lamar Jackson, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. Derrick Henry with that 68-yarder, was it? 74-yarder, so not really that good of a game if you take that away. It's, 15 for 60, which is it's not absolutely horrible, but it's not as good as A.J. Brown went off. Where's Julio? Did he even have a single catch? 1 catch for 4 yards. Maybe him not wearing number 11 is causing that. I don't know, but that's a bit of a yikes, I will admit. Tucker McCann missed 2 field goals. They missed 3 with... Oh, my. Tucker missed all 3 field goals. Which, I mean, probably played a decent bit of a factor, but that was a brutal weather game. Honestly, how do you even get 5 attempts? Like, how do you even get to 5 attempts for field goals in a game like that? As we are headed to the championship round, who is it against? Weird that I'm going to actually show you guys we didn't cheat or anything, because the fact that the Jets are the team, when we mentioned the Jets that one time, like, that's a strange. They beat the Browns. Super Bowl is between the Titans or the Jets. A very interesting set of teams. They're an 86. How? I just don't see them beating us. That is just illegal. It should be illegal if it actually happens. Here we go in MetLife. A little bit better of a weather situation for once. And let's see it out. Let's see what happens. As it looks like we stopped them or took the ball away from them and scored a touchdown. Then we do it again. 14-0. Not a bad start at all. But obviously it's still early. 21-0. And New York puts up 3. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. As we just get that back, we get another touchdown on top of it. 31-10, 34-10, 34-18. Nice little two-point conversion attempt, but they just will not have enough time. And Tennessee will be representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. What is this passing attack? Well, like, what even is that? Rushing wasn't even that much better. Obviously, Henry was really good for us as always, but still, in general, not really too spectacular. Julio Jones finally bouncing back with a 95-yard, one-touchdown performance. They have Gronk in New York. Interesting. Sack total's really solid for once as well. And then Christian Fulton, guy that I just did not even give the light of day to, comes up with an interception. Could have been very clutch, too. The score is a lot closer than it, kind of seemed. Who was it against? It was the Bears and the Panthers, and it appears to be the Bears. I don't like that because Justin Fields and Sim has been really good for Chicago in most of our rebuilds. 91 overall to their 86 overall. We're the best team. So why can't we finish the best dream? I don't even know why I said that. It's almost always year 4, year 5, or just never. Can we get one of our rare but classic 3-year rebuild successes? And boy, does it not look good there. We get the touchdown, but we missed the extra point because McCann is just that way. 20-7, 20-14. This is a close matchup. Up by 9. No deficit cut. Halftime score is the same. Tennessee puts up another touchdown without a field goal or extra point, though, leaving the door open for Chicago. And they are going to walk through that door, but fail the 2 points by being sacked by Malik Jefferson. And the offense is like, you know what? You don't have to worry about it. We're going to give you another shot at the thing. But the defense clutches up. And Tennessee, with Julio Jones, wins the Super Bowl. That is a success. Julio Jones finally gets the Super Bowl. Absolutely screwed out multiple times by Atlanta. I'm sorry, Atlanta fans. We're not going to go in depth with what I'm talking about mainly. But you get the gist. Of course, I would say Tennessee fans would be a little split because obviously, Julio Jones, it wasn't the prettiest departure, I'm going to be honest. It wasn't the cleanest departure. Not really all on his side, but he could have probably handled it a little bit better than he did considering how long he was there and, this career he's put up over there. But, ultimately, they parted ways. And it is what gave Tennessee just enough to get over that hump, that just enough firepower that they needed, that a little extra oomph on offense that they needed to get over the hump of playing in the playoffs and just not having enough juice to win it all. A.J. Brown obviously developed into an absolute god. Julio Jones kind of fell down a little bit. He kind of regressed a little bit, but overall still a major part of the success. And Tannehill, A.J. Brown, Julio, all the lads, Mr. Derrick Henry, all of them, and that defense are hoisting a Lombardi. As you would expect, though, what is this? 96.5, 96.6 yards, about 105 off of field. So, as usual, getting outperformed in the passing game. And surprisingly enough, maybe not outperformed in the run game, but very similar numbers, which is not what you would expect considering we won and their passing attack was technically better. I know they had the 2 picks, but 2 and 1. I mean, it's not that much of a difference, obviously. Julio, no touchdowns, but a lot of yards, as Chapman was okay. I mean, there was really no one that went spectacularly off on offense. Defense was the reason they won. Look at the sack numbers, and of course, we know that Byard was player of the game for touchdowns. As far as kicking goes, 43-yarder. He at least didn't miss. I suppose that's... No, he did miss. He missed the extra point. I forgot. Wait, I thought it was 2 extra points. Oh, maybe they went for 2 to, recapture the deficit. I'm not even sure. But I suppose there's really no reason to go on. I mean, I do want to go on to see if Julio's even here because he actually could just kind of disappear. And I do see a retirement. I don't know if it's the guy or not. I don't think it is. I would assume Julio would still be here for at least another year, maybe 2 if you're lucky. And he's a 92 overall, so he's still fine. Not bad. Let's take a look at his actual career stats real quick, as he obviously is a Hall of Famer, especially now with that Super Bowl win. Career stats, let's take a look. So, Julio Jones, 82 touchdowns, 15,484 yards. A.J. Brown already having a really good start to his career here, too. Obviously, amazing. Is his run after the catch actually that, is that not, maybe that's not as low as I thought? And, these sim numbers are just really high? I'm not even sure, but that doesn't seem very high, right? I guess Brandon Cooks is... Yeah, I guess he can't really do too much with it. He's a jump ball beast, so... it is what it is. But anyways, that is the Tennessee Titans realistic rebuild with Mr. Julio Jones, who is newly added through a trade with the Atlanta Falcons. Maybe we do one on the other side of this, because I don't think we have done a Falcons rebuild, like I said. And obviously, this is another reason, too, as they're going to lose a huge part of the team. And honestly, the identity. I know they have Matt Ryan, but realistically, when you think of the Falcons, you probably mainly thought about Julio, right? I mean, maybe Matt Ryan, I guess, but Julio definitely number 1 or 2 on that list. And obviously, he's gone now, and Falcons fans probably don't want to be reminded of it, but unfortunately, that's the whole point of the video. So maybe we do a Falcons one next. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. Either way, though, like I said earlier, give me some suggestions for rebuilds you want to see, whether it's, actual realistic rebuilds post-draft, post some sort of off-season move, or if it's some special rebuild, like, we did injuries on with, like, low sliders or something. It's some sort of rebuild challenge. Anything at all, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe leave a like and subscribe. I really got to start recording this when I'm not dead tired, because it's just, I really feel like I'm having a stroke. And it's not even like a stroke joke. Like legitimately, some of the symptoms of my flubs and just mistakes are honestly that way, But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys at least found some enjoyment out of it. Maybe you laughed at me being a freaking just like thick brain today. And that's about it. Maybe, follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, Pkr Plays. Twitch.tv/Jeromepkr for stream, which, assuming I don't pass out at a random time, as I always do, check it out. Maybe 10 p.m. Central Standard Time streaming. Maybe you'll have some fun. Maybe we'll be actually there for once. Anyways, thanks for watching. Enough of me, and I'm assuming you guys are absolutely ready for that with these flubs, especially near the end here. I'm actually recording this outro with my eyes closed. That's how tired I am. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. That's about it. Hopefully you guys come back for the next video. But until next video, see ya!